How's it going, all you Minties? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And join me today because I have a brand new Marvel Omnibus that I get to announce for the month of August of 2025. So let's go ahead and check this book out together. This video is sponsored by Marvel Comics, so thank you so much to David Gabriel and the fine folks at Marvel for sending us advance notice of this new omnibus that is coming out in August of 2025. Before I go any further, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. That lets you know when our videos are going live, and we do put out videos every day. Okay. One brand new Marvel Omnibus. This is a brand new line, although it would take just 2 Omnis to do the whole thing. And I am very excited about this one because I did not see this one coming. Although it was in our top 60 most wanted Marvel Omnibus, but I still did not think they were going to do it. Yet here we are. I love getting to announce books like this because when I don't see them coming, I'm like, what? Where did this come from? Just when I saw the list of books and I saw this one, it stood out. So, for all those that have been asking about this, whether or not they were ever going to do it in omnibus format, there were some trade paperbacks, I think 3 of them. But, finally coming out in August of 2025 is the NAMM 1966 to 1969 Omnibus. Alright, we got the years. We'll look at the content in a little bit, but first, let's check out that standard edition cover. And your standard edition cover is supplied by Michael Golden, who, of course, was the series artist on, oh my gosh, I think you did over a year of NAMM comics. And that is the cover to issue number 1 of the NAMM. Now, what is collected in this book? So collected in here is the NAMM 1 through 45. It's a big book. And then material from Savage Tales 1 and 4. And the Savage Tales were the stories from the 5th to the 1st, which were written by Doug Murray. And then, so I'm glad those are collected, because Larry Hama was the editor at the time and asked him to come and do it. So I'm glad those are collected because they do predate the stories that are in the NAMM. Now, in here, you're going to find the work of Doug Murray. Larry Hama was the editor at the time, but Michael Golden was the artist on the book. Oh my gosh, like I said, for at least the first year, maybe a year and a half or so. And then later on, it became the Wayne Van Sant artwork in here. And for the most part, Doug, I want to say Doug stuck around the book for the first 45 issues, because the book went on all the way to issue 84, but then there was the Punisher and the NAMM comics, which were kind of like 85 and 86 to wrap up those stories. Anyway, I'm getting way ahead of myself. Let's look at their direct market cover. And your direct market cover is supplied by the legendary John Romita Sr. and Ron Frenz. Now, there is a story behind this book, because when I tell you what the premise of the book is, you're going to be like, wait a second, what are all these heroes doing on the cover? There's actually a little bit of a twist to that, because the comic is about the narrative of these fictional soldiers that were sent over to Vietnam. And it is the years 1966 to 1969. And the very unique thing that they were doing at the time is real time would pass, well, not real time because this was in 86, so 20 years later, but real time as in like a month in between issues. It would be a month in between the story that ended with issue number 1. A month would go by, issue number 2, within the actual comic. So I thought that was really cool. So you get to meet First Class Edward Marks, you get to see Sergeant Paucow, Specialist Kikas, and then Private First Class Mike Albergo, and First Sergeant Jim Top Tarver. Now, what was unique about this is that the soldiers were doing tours at the time of 1 year, so they couldn't stay for more than a year. And there are some really cool cameos in here. And then, of course, later on, what ended up happening with the book and how it kind of changed in the way the story was told. This is a series, like I said, I think there were 3 trade paperbacks of the stories collected, some of the stories collected in this omnibus, they did not make it all the way to issue number 45. And as I mentioned, the comic went all the way to issue 84, although there were a couple of storylines in the Punisher, I think it was called Punisher and the Nam. Those stories were collected later on in that comic book to wrap up some of the loose ends, if you will. But man, this is a big surprise, and a lot of people that voted for this one in their most wanted Marvel Omnibus, it is coming out, and hopefully there will be a volume 2 to wrap up the series. And man, I haven't read these stories in years because I did not have those trade paperbacks, so I have not read these stories in years. My buddy Matt is the one that actually got me into them, so it put a smile on my face whenever I saw the cover of issue number 1 because it reminded me of his collection. But those are your 2 covers. That is the content, and of course that is the announcement for this go round. Let me know in the comments down below if you've which cover you're going to get if you're picking this up, and if you never thought they were going to do it, and of course if you haven't heard of the series. I can't wait to actually hold it in my hand and do an overview. But that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.